Hello, uh, teacher and companions. I voy to present the 10 titule en Family en the book one del Código Tributario Peruano. The which is very important because constitutes the base of the system tributario en Perú. The Código Tributario is the set of norms that regulate the relation between the state in quant to the base of IVOTs. Is this establish who they must pay imports, how much they must pay, and under which rules the payment is made. This código not only serves to regulate money but to guarantee that the right good be done in a just and legal way, respecting the right of the contributors. Inside of it, structural two parts are fundamental. The título preliminar that establishes the principles generals of the systems tributary, and the book one that regulates the obligation tributaria. This is when it works and that it's fulfilled. Now I will explain each one of them in my when doing examples. El Código Tributario preliminar establish the principles by which they guide all the system tributario in Peru. The first is the principle of legalidad. This principle says that no impost can exist if it is known by a ley. For example, if the government would like to create a new impost to the students in approving a ley in the Congress that would not be valid, first must exist a legal norm. Another important principle is legality. This principle indicates that all citizens must be treated in a just way tributary law. For example, two persons one gain the same salary should pay similar imposts independent of the profession or place where they live. Also, it's the principle of capacidad contributiva. Each person pays according to their income or wages. For example, a person who gains $1,000 per month pays more imposts than someone who gains $1,100 because is more economic capacity. Another point is the interpretation of tributary norms. The Código establish that you cannot create imposts or changes with arbitrary interpretation. This means SUNAT cannot invent a form or penalty that is not in the law. Also, tributary law generally are not applied in a red-hot way except when it benefits the contributors. For example, if a new non-reduced impost, a company can benefit even from past months, but if in increased impost, it cannot be applied to the país. En resumen del título preliminar, guarda the system tributario is just, legal and transparent, avoiding abuses of the state. Book 1, Obligación tributaria. Now we pass to the book 1, which talks about the obligation tributaria. This is the legal relation with the state and the contributor. This obligation as per one efecto hogarcal, hecho imponible. For example, if a person receives a salary, general the obligation to pay income tax. Okay. The tributary obligation has several important elements. Activo, the state who holds the impost. Sujeto pasivo, the contributor who pays. The action that generates the impost. The amount on which the impost is calculated, percentage, the impost rate. For example, if a person sells a cell phone for 1,000 soles, the seller is the sujeto pasivo. Sujeto activo de salir, de hecho, imponible de 1,000 soles y de base imponible. And in this percentage of impost is applied on that amount. The book 1 also established what a tributary debt can end. The case open in the different phases. Payment when the contributor pays the impost. Compensation when debts are grossed. Remission when the state forgives the debt. Prescription when too much time passes and the debt cannot be anymore. Or, for example, if a person for many years and the legal limited and the state cannot collect it anymore, also its tributary responsibility, and which means other person can be responsible for the debt. Or, for example, if a company disappears, the legal representative can be responsible for the outstanding debts. Also is the tributary domicile, which is the address where submitted official notification. For example, if a person just his house but does not update his address, it can make important notification. In conclusion, the book 1 Spanish our tributary obligation boards develops and aids. And to finally become claudicar the Código Tributario Peruano, especially the título preliminar in the book 1 is fundamental for the function of the fiscal system of the country. The título preliminar establishes the principles of legality, equality, and capacidad contributiva, which ensure a just system while the book one regulates the tributary obligation. This is when it boards how it is calculated and how it's ended. Thank you. This now the start with our resources to finish public service like health, education, and security while respecting the rights of the contributors. En resumen, the tributary system is not only an obligation but also a tool for the development of the country. Thank you very much.